I'm here with head coach Steven Mallow of the Lincoln men's golf team after the Blue Tigers have capped off their 2017 fall season. Coach, how do you feel your team did this past fall?
Well, I feel like we did a good job. It's hard to see that when you look at our scores, things like that, but I'm with them every day. I know how they worked, and I know how we progressed in practice. So although we went from about a 150 ranking to 187, I know how much we got better, and I know that's going to show up. So I think it was a good fall, even though it didn't necessarily show up on the golf stat rankings.
Well, I know that there's many things that happen during a tournament that are beyond your control, whether how long it takes for rounds to get finished, therefore kind of pushing back start times in the afternoon. But how do you feel your team overall kind of came together and presented themselves during these four tournaments?
Well, really, we had a lot of firsts. We had several kids in their first college tournament. And a college tournament is nothing like a high school tournament, whereas in high school we may only play 9 holes, where we're playing 54 and 36 in one day. So we had first 36 hole days. So really when we think about things like that, we're so young, and the fact that we really did card some good scores at times, and in practice the improvement that I'm seeing, I believe we're coming together, and we'll have a good spring, and that'll really set us up to really get going next fall as well, and hopefully make our way towards some regional appearances.
Yeah, you look at some of the individual scores, and you had a lot of low 70s, but then you would occasionally have some where you would hit in the 70s during the first round, but in the second round it might be 80, 81, 82. So
right.
What are some ways you're going to kind of work on consistency before the spring season?
You're right. Consistency was our biggest problem, because we'd have some rounds where our player that was playing number one for that tournament, his round wouldn't even count. And that's good and bad. Okay, so if the number one's not playing great, and it's good that we can him him up with the 2, 3, 4, and 5. But at the same time, we always hope that number one's going to finish, top 5, top 10, top 15. So we definitely need to work on that. One thing that we work on in practice is trying to create situations that are similar to tournament golf, so that we get more comfortable in it, and it's more like a normal thing that we're going through instead of something we do 10 times a year.
Well, Gabe Trowbridge obviously had a phenomenal freshman season and had a very strong fall, was your leader at most of your tournaments. How has he kind of progressed during his time here at Lincoln?
Well, he's an incredible ball striker. His swing is really good. And, he went to the same swing coach that I went to, Rick Grayson in Springfield. He's an incredible coach, and he's just a really great ball striker. And one of the things that I think he'd tell you is that he struggles with his putting and reading putts sometimes. And I saw him get a lot better and a lot more comfortable with his flat stick as this season progressed. And as it got colder, it's kind of funny. Golf's so hard because there's so many different things that go on. So he worked really, really hard on his putting and got a lot better. And then kind of his ball striking is what kind of hurt him towards the end of the year at the last tournament. But he's an incredible player. To have him for 5 more semesters is really exciting. I really believe that he'll be able to kind of follow Blake Lammer's footsteps and potentially maybe win a conference and win a MIAA, or not MIAA, but the NCAA Minority Championship. I believe that he could be a player that wins tournaments.
Were there any other players that really either surprised you or just caught your eye with their play this fall?
I don't know that I would say surprised, but we're going to get a lot out of Jordan Barnett and Braden Watts in the future. Those 2 freshmen, I knew that they could come in and play, but I didn't know what necessarily to expect. And Braden, we're working on some mechanical things with the swing and things like that, and he'll have a great spring. I have a lot of confidence in that. And Jordan, he went through where I was talking about the firsts that we went through this year, and he went through a lot of those first, and he's really, really coming a long way since that first tournament where we struggled to settle into the round, and now he's kind of more comfortable, I guess would be the right way to say it, when he's out there. He's still focused and still there's still that little edge that's different from practice to a tournament, but he's more comfortable in it and able to perform better. I actually noticed that Logan is really having some great rounds in practice, and I think in practice some of his rounds are as good as I shot when I was a senior. So, not that I was incredible, but I was pretty good. And if he can do that and he can translate that to tournaments, I really think that he'll be able to make a big impact for us as well.
And then the last thing I'm going to ask you, you used pretty much the same five for all of your tournaments this fall, but you do have a couple other players that I'm sure have been practicing. Do you kind of foresee the spring going the same way, or are you expecting there might be a little bit more competition for those tournament spots?
Well, 3 of our tournaments, actually, well, it may have been all 4. We didn't know who was going until the very last day of qualifying. So the other 2, Carson Deerhoff and Dalton Roark, didn't make it to tournaments this fall, but both of them had themselves in position to make it, just didn't actually finish it all the way. So the competition was there, which I think is a good thing, and I think it will continue to be there going forward.
All right, thanks for spending some time with us, Coach.
Thank you.